So today I had the pleasure of training with one of the newest IFBB pros on the UK scene, Jack Richardson. Jack trains like a young guy should, with intensity and passion.
Come on.
I saw that Chris Bobso was entering pro. Do it. People wait for opportunities, but you also don't see them when you arrive. I went into a bit of homelessness, and bodybuilding was this conduit to sort my life out.
Welcome back to episode 7 of the Pro Series with me, Josh Maley, the tallest IFBB pro and ex-Mr. Universe. So today I had the pleasure of sitting down and training with Jack Richardson, one of the newest IFBB pros on the UK scene. He won his pro card last year, 2024, and pretty immediately competed in one of the most anticipated shows of the year with Chris Bumstead, who obviously was his final show ever, it seems. So Jack is young, he is talented, he has worked hard, he's been in this sport quite a long time already, and the training session itself was fantastic. Jack trains like a young guy should, with intensity and passion, and it was really cool to see. I fed off of it big time. And then the interview itself was extremely interesting actually, because despite being young, very mature, quite deep with some of his answers, some of his thoughts, and just a really good insight into the man and the method of his progress so far and his potential moving forward. So I hope you guys enjoyed the episode, and yeah, an absolute cracker of one. Check it out. We'll start off with the start, really, I suppose. Without being here for hours, how did you get into bodybuilding? What attracted you to the sport? And yeah, where did you start? How did you kind of transition through?
So I've never been a sporty person when I was a kid, like in school or anything. I would just stray away, well away from PE and such. And I remember going into college, it was that transition between school and college. There was obviously that long break, and I was like, I'm just going to try the gym. So that's for my cousin. He was like, I've got nothing to do over the summer holidays, and he was like, why don't you just pay for a year at the gym and we'll smash it today. It'll last like one session. And I'm like, oh my god, I've just spent all my money on this, because
I'm investing now.
Yeah, that was a lot of money
as well
back then. It was and but I liked the independence of it as well.
Yeah.
And there's this little element of self-improvement that is endless, that I could just keep going, investing in my own time, in my own way.
You're in control.
And yeah, for sure. And, it's not like a team sport or anything like that. And to be honest, it was like, because I've never been exposed to it before, I never knew, like, it was like getting a taste for it and then getting the bug after. I was like, holy shit, this is what's been missing.
Yeah.
And I just kept going and going. I got addicted to the process. I love the process. I love the process of hard training. Even when it was the very beginning, I'm training for nothing, just for the sake of training. Yeah. And I remember like thinking, I want to go in here, just mess myself up as much as possible.
Yeah.
Just drops at everything and just train crazy.
Yeah.
And then I was like, I'm just going to eat a lot. And already the mentality was there, but I didn't know what for.
Yeah.
And I wanted to put it into something. And there was, different people who were obviously wanted to do bodybuilding, and, I obviously speak to them. I was like, okay, that's a cool idea. Then I remember going to Body Power. And I think like a lot of people, because I got into it right before it was very big on social media.
Yeah.
So a lot of people, it's very popular now.
Yeah.
So you were subjected to it a lot more.
Yeah, there's more. I think you got into it, like you said, for the love of it. Whereas now I think a lot of people are attracted to it for the kind of social media and stuff like that.
I mean, when I got into it was still a very niche thing.
Yeah.
Very, very niche.
Quite extreme, hardcore almost to that point.
For sure. I mean, I started training when I was 16, and, I was like, I did my first shows at 18.
Right.
And there was no one like at college doing it. You know, everyone thought I was like crazy.
Weird.
You know,
I bet you like that as well. Like,
yeah, I mean, I suppose like because I always felt like a bit of an outcasted individual, but like this was for a purpose.
Yeah.
And instead of feeling like outcasted, I felt like I stood out.
Yeah.
Because you know, I was putting my energy into something. And even at like 18, I didn't think of, you know, I tried going out or whatever, like what no 18-year-olds would do. I was like, no, I want to compete. I want to do this. And that itself, you know, people are like, why do you have fun? I'm like, this honestly is the best time of my life. I feel like so grateful that I've found a purpose, like very young, and I could see myself. I remember like just being so content with the idea of investing in this for years to come.
Yeah.
And I was content with investing in it without even going, by this time I want to be this.
Setting sort of,
you know, a lot of people get into this and like, I want to be pro in a couple of years.
Road to pro and the should start lifting weights.
Literally, and I'm like, I just want to do this. And I made a promise to myself. I'm like, I'm really just going to invest in this. No matter what happens, we're going to invest in this.
That's it, Josh. Come on. Here we go.
Exactly the same. Like, I've always been a fan of bodybuilding. There's always been people at shows for every show I've ever done who I've, like you said, sort of looked up to and been like, fucking hell, like, it's great. But like, how cool is it when you turn pro and then you're next to these guys?
Oh yeah.
And then tell me more about that, because obviously you won your pro card, what, like 6-8 weeks prior?
Mate, it was like
it was influenced, I think, pretty strongly by the attendance of Mr. Chris Bumstead.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I nearly did exactly the same, mate. I'd retired and I was like, can I go to that one more? But I didn't have it in me.
So it was like, so I won my pro card at 2 weeks going into an off season. I was like, I saw that Chris Bumstead was entering pro, and I was like, I cannot wait to watch this show, and I put it on my story.
Yeah.
And I remember putting the Q&A up, and the Q&A, someone asked, are you going to jump in?
Yeah.
And I just put it as a joke, I was like, what do you think?
Yeah.
You know, and I posted it, and you know, people just kept messaging, do it. And I was like, oh my God. I was in the state of paralysis. I was like, I'll just enter the off season. Oh, you know, when flick that switch from prep.
Yeah. Especially when you've just got your pro card and you're like, shit, I'm a pro now and I want to be pro worthy, and I want to get stuck into that.
This is what I was posting. I contradicted myself so heavy. When I think back, I was like, I'm going to spend time, I'm going to take time off. And, you know, I'm like, I'm like, cool, the goals to get a pro card, I've got it, I can switch off, you know, and then people like, do it. And in my head, I literally could not justify why not to do it.
Right.
I'm like, I'm still in shape, I've gone full on off season. This year, I'm 2 weeks in, this little off season, but the show's 2 weeks away.
Yeah.
Okay. You know, life's about living, life's about experiences, and, you know, it's about, you know, people wait for opportunities, but you also don't see them when they arise.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm still thinking as an amateur, as a spectator, and I'm like, I can't wait to see this show. I'm like, bro, I can actually be in this.
You can see it from fucking next to.
Yeah. And I was like, okay, I know I'm not going to be 100%.
Yeah.
But see how you do is a good perspective. But also, again, I'm doing the last show's Chris Bumstead. I'm, you know, competing against Sean Clarita, who's Mr. Olympia in 10-on-2, or Martin Fitz. You know, he's like top 4, and again, a bunch of other impressive guys. I can see where I'm at, you know, but also, again, just experience what it's like to do a pro show and competing against these guys.
Come on, Jack. Fucking yes. Drive, yes. Now we go. Come on. Come on. One more. Yep. Nice.
Oh shit.
Oh. Drive, yes. Awesome. These ones now, yeah. Push. Yes, let's go, Jack. Yeah. Awesome. Biggest disappointments through your career? Anything that kind of stands out?
Yeah. So one of the most heartbreaking things was going into so I competed at 18, and that season went way better than I expected. I was like, I don't care if I lose, I just want to take part.
Yeah, just do what I love doing.
Yeah, I don't know. I like bodybuilding, but I don't know if I like competitive bodybuilding. I just give it a go. I ended up, doing well, winning the British and going over to the Worlds. And in my head, I was like, I'm going to do that again. Yeah, and I'm going to do it again. I'm going to do it again. And I remember going for the prep, and then I went into a bit of homelessness, and I had to pull out of that. And I was trying to be stubborn with it. I was like, no, focus on this. You need to get that shit together. And then I was like, cool. And bodybuilding sort of was this conduit to sort of sort my life out.
Yeah.
I get it together and
Direction.
just keep me structured, keep me disciplined. And I was like, cool, I'm going to be on stage this next year. For that to happen, obviously all this needs to fall in place, and that just hold me accountable. And in my head, I'm like, I've got to win, I've got to win, I've got to win, I've got to win. And I remember getting second, right? And that was the first time, like, I was like, it was this all or nothing mindset.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm going to go in. If I win, I've got potential to be a bodybuilder. I'm going to make it, I'm going to make a career out of this. If I don't, then I'm shit and I'm not going to bodybuild. It was that type of mentality.
Yeah.
I remember losing, I was like, I'm shit then. Okay. Like, for some, I assumed I was going to win because I just said to myself, it was what helped get me through a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
It would be worth it if I win, and I'm going to make sure I do. And then after I had to rationalize, I'm like, okay. Like, it was like a shot in the chest.
Yeah.
This was one of the most, this was a pivotal point in competing. This really changed my perspective from going forwards. I was like, am I going to stop?
Yeah.
And I thought to myself, I'm like, because I said I'm going to stop if I don't do it. I'm like, am I actually going to stop? Yeah. This has been your life for a while now. I'm like, what are you going to do? I said, what's the alternative? Yeah. Let's live that out in your head. What, you're not going to go to the gym, or you're not going to be structured? It's like, well, you're still going to do that stuff because you love the process. So either way, if you don't get the placing that you want, you're still going to focus on improving and getting better.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay. And then my mindset switched to, it doesn't matter how many times I fail, I will fail as many times as it takes to succeed.
That's it, yeah.
And this is like when, again, I remember the season afterwards, I lost a bunch of times. Yeah. And I was like, oh, wow, I've just given everything to another push-up. And I was like, I did another push-up, and that went into the season when I was a pro. I also injured my shoulder, which put me out for months and months. And that was another devastating thing, because I was like, I cannot train, and I've got to compete, and I don't know if I'm going to look better, or if
am I going to make that progress? That at the end of the day, like you said, you've put yourself in the right mindset of, it's about your personal progression. And if you are getting better every year, the best bodybuilders are often the most stubborn and the ones who've been about the longest.
Yes,
because they can take those hits, and they can either use them, or they can just brush them off, and they can keep moving forwards. And if you like, for me, I remember, if I just kind of put it into that, like when I won my pro card, that was the year where I was like, if I don't win it this year, then I know that I've given everything to this, and I can walk away happy.
Absolutely.
But like, obviously then I won it, and I was like, well, probably do pro shows and then I walk away.
And it's like that when you think about walking away, you're sort of like, you play it out, you're like, no, I'll still do more. But I feel a lot of people will talk about genetics is important, and of course hard work, but a lot of people don't talk about just surviving the longest and outliving the competition. And just being able to just be consistent and still be here. And it speaks to itself. It's like, because bodybuilding is a long-term thing. And if you can find a way to survive and keep yourself in it and still love it for like 10, 15, 20 years, you work hard for those years, you're going to make something of yourself. Yes! Ha! 3, 2, 1. Fuck yeah.
What does success mean to you? As open as you want.
This is a great question, because success is definitely relative, and a lot of people will assume success to be winning or, you know, climbing in a status or financial status.
A tangible.
Yeah, you know, something that you could go, cool, I've got more of this, and I've realized, and this, you know, this is, some people do this but realize a little bit too late when they invest in everything, that success isn't just having these things. Success is the fulfillment, and again, it's the fulfillment of doing. It's not the end point. It's not right, once I claim this, I'm successful, because if you get there,
there's always someone else.
Yeah, exactly. And if you get there and you feel unfulfilled and you've just got this thing, you're not successful, really. And I think success is a bit more deeper rooted than that, because it's about also you as a character as well. Well, some people will chase money, will chase a status, and they'll become arrogant, narcissistic, and lose themselves. And that, to me, is not success, because that's a trade-off. You've become lesser of a person to get these materialistic things or these shallow things. But if you can keep your integrity as a person, and you can climb up, again, this is why I think the Seaborn is a genuinely cool dude outside of his physique, a good role model for people, because this guy is a very sort of, he's very modest, he's very humble. You know, it's like yourself, you're a very humble guy. You know, you've
without this multiple Olympia titles.
Yeah, but it's like you know, you don't want to lose that. A lot of people can't. Yeah, I mean, they've not even won a show and they think the dog's bollocks. I'm like, man, I mean, it's okay, cool. You've progressed, but you've lost yourself along the way. I think if you have fulfillment, you improve as a person as well as improve towards whatever you're working towards. You know, it's multiple aspects. Again, it's very person dependent what people will find as successful, but it's definitely not this thing that has been laid out for us, I don't think, where it's like just materialistic, you just accumulating things. You know, I think it's more than that. It's more like, are you happy with your life? You know, how do you be successful if you're not happy with your life? You know, you're going to get to like 60, 70 and go, wow, this is a cool life, but you're going to feel like there's a void inside because you're not focused on the life.
I've achieved certain things, but like you said, lost yourself along the way, for sure. Oh, that's a great answer, mate. Thank you. Still there. Come on. Good. Nice. Hop. Keep going, keep going. Hop. Yes. Nice, man. Ooh. Wow, too good. So what's the split? Not upper, lower, upper? Like?
No.
Okay.
So it's like, it's actually posterior, push. So posterior, rest, push, rest, legs, rest,
Upper. Rest,
That's
repeat.
the one.
Okay,
So
cool.
it's 8 day,
Yeah,
8
so
day
yeah,
split.
so you've got, this is probably the shortest period between muscle groups.
And it's like, my legs, my quads especially, they get least amount of volume by quite a bit. I do 4 sets on my quads every 8 days.
Okay.
And 2 of those are leg extension sets. And I'm like, they're still, I mean, they're growing quite nicely on it. And they're the most demanding in regards to recovery. So if you can take away, still grow, like, I've noticed my upper shoulders
it opens up, like you say, that volume you can place in the more important areas.
So it's like, and I'll also try to be tactical in how so like, this will be a little bit more lat focused on the upper day. And with the posterior, I'll probably do more, thickness, upper back. You know, I'll do like a hinge, hamstring, probably traps and stuff like that. So it's not too conflicting.
Mate, thank you very much. That was a lot of fun. Great interview. Really good to kind of get to hear a lot about your mindset. You know, Jack is young, but I would say he's got an extremely mature head on his shoulders. And I think, you know, looking at his progress thus far, the future's fucking exciting, and I'm here for it. So yeah, well, thank you very much, mate.
Thank you very much.
And yeah, episode 6 wrapped up. Like, comment, subscribe. All of Jack's details will be below. And yeah, follow if you don't already. Do you have a YouTube?
I do. It is. Yeah, it's just Jack Richardson.
Yeah, I'll put that below as well. So yeah, check him out. Hope you enjoyed the episode, and yeah, I'll see you in the next one. Thank you, guys.